she's our gold medalist in the 2018 Asian Games. Bianca Pagdanganan.
It's crazy when you're able to achieve a goal that you set for yourself like years ago. If no one else is gonna believe in you, you have to believe in yourself, because that's like my mindset. Like, no one else can help you but yourself.
And what a thrill that Yuka Saso is here.
Kung tawagin nila ako, hindi na yung pangalan ko, parang US Women's Open Champion. Ganun, hinanap ko na po agad si Rory. Nag-ask po ako ng tips, advice, and nag-video ko ng mga swing niya. So, meron po akong goal na ito yung gusto ko. Right now, I think, I'm still thinking I'm very far off that. I'm still, grinding and trusting the process to get there.
Hello, sports fans. This is Kirito Henson.
And I'm Diane Casillo. Get ready to uncover the future of Philippine sports.
And let's navigate and break down this game.
And kick it back with our inspiring athletes.
We've got an exciting episode for you. It's golf themed, and we are going to be talking to our two female golf qualifiers for the Tokyo Olympics. The first, Bianca Pagdanganan.
And then later on, we're going to chat with the 2021 US Open champion, Yuka Saso.
That's incredible. We've got two back-to-back interviews for you, Bianca and Yuka. And sports fans, this is for you. We're cheering for our athletes, and we'll always keep you close to the action.
This is your one-stop shop for the latest on the greatest in sports. And we are here to play it right. Okay, welcome again, sports fans, to Play It Right, one of our most honorable golfers. She just qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, and of course, she has been playing in the LPGA Tour, and she's our gold medalist in the 2018 Asian Games. So welcome to the show, Bianca Pagdanganan. Hi, Bianca.
Hi Diane. Hi everyone. Thank you for having me.
Kinita Henson and I are here, and we're so excited to be able to chat with you. First of all, congratulations on your qualification to the Tokyo Olympics.
Thank you.
How exciting is that? I know you were always in the ranking of the top 60, but were you? How long now since you've been assured of the spot?
I wouldn't say I was assured of the spot. I still had to play good golf to keep that. So I still can't believe that I actually qualified and that everything's official. I have people congratulating me still. They're like, oh my gosh, congrats, you're Tokyo bound. I'm like, thank you. I still can't believe it. Finally playing in the Olympics.
So Bianca, you've had an amazing journey. You turned pro last year. This year you qualified for the Olympics. Can you tell us your feeling about this journey that you're enjoying?
Well, it's been pretty crazy. Like ever since they brought back golf in the Olympics, so that was in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh my gosh, they added golf to the biggest stage in sports. And I told myself, I hope one day I get to play in the Olympics. And I was like, probably not as soon as, Tokyo. I wasn't really ranked because I didn't really play any other pro events, especially when I was in college. So I wasn't even able to build up on those points. But in my head, I was like, I'm probably not gonna make it in the next one, like Tokyo. Hopefully, the years after that, I can probably represent the Philippines. But then last year, so my rookie year rather, I was like playing okay the first few events. I was making cuts, and then I had two good tournaments, which bumped my ranking up and put me in the run for being in the Tokyo Olympics. So when that happened, I was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it was possible that I could put myself in that position. So when everything became official 2-3 days ago, I still couldn't believe it. It's crazy when you're able to achieve a goal that you set for yourself years ago.
You've represented the country in many competitions. You've won, in the Asian Games and then in the Southeast Asian Games. Now you're going to the big stage. You're going to the Olympics. how important is it for you to represent your country, especially now that you're also immersed in the LPGA Tour?
For me, it's always such an honor that I get to do this. I get to play golf, I get to do what I love, and then I get to represent the Philippines at the same time. But I think overall, the experiences of being able to play in the SEA Games and then the Asian Games, you slowly expose yourself, your game, to more people and players. I think that's also part of the preparation when you're gonna play the Olympic. I get to play with the best of the best. I get to see where my game's at. I just learned so much. I think I'm at this level. I think I know everything, but then it's just, all part of the learning process. You strive to get better. It's because, like I said, you're exposed to all these great players that you get to compare where you're at, and you get to see what else you have to improve on, to get to, the next level of your game.
Bianca, we're so proud of you. Every time, some of the games are shown on, here, and we get to see wow, we're watching an LPGA tour and there's a Philippine flag with Bianca Pagdanganan there. Forgive me, I failed to mention that you're also gold medalist in the last SEA Games. And of course, last year in the PGA, you in the PGA tournament, you were in the top 10, which was an amazing result, right? But Bianca, I wanted to, you mentioned kanina about hard work, you can't believe that you're actually there. Now, a lot of people may not know how you got there. Can you take us a little bit back to where you first started in golf, how you, won all those junior tournaments, and then finally had to join the qualifying, go to college, then go to qualifying school to be able to get that tour card to play in the LPGA?
Well, it's quite the process when I talk about this whole journey that I have. But I started when I was 7. My dad introduced me to the sport. I started off when he brought me to the driving range. He hit shots and I watched him. And I thought it was so cool, watching the ball fly. He hit the driver, my dad. My goal was to earn a scholarship in college. Right. So when I was able to do so, I went to college in the US. I spent my first 2 years at Gonzaga University, transferred to Arizona. I knew that I wanted to turn pro, but I think it was more of a question of do I really want to? Are there any other things in life that I want to do? So I had to do this internship. I think it was my sophomore year of college, and I didn't even do a full day. I just did half day, and then I got home and I told my parents the whole experience I had that day, and I said I couldn't sit in front of a computer. I couldn't sit down for even just 30 minutes. I had to stand up, walk around the room. I was I need to be outside. I probably needed to be in a golf course. I think I want to turn pro. I don't think I can do a 9-to-5 job. The year after I graduated in 2019, I went to Q school and I tried to turn pro. 3 stages of Q school from August to November. And luckily, I got my LPGA Tour card after a long process. It really was mentally and physically exhausting because it took a couple months. But, when I finally had my card, I was just finally. It was so fulfilling. I was so proud of myself.
Yeah, I've heard about how tough it is to get that tour, the LPGA card, going to that qualifying school. I didn't know it was that kind of process that you made cuento. Now, all throughout this, okay, you couldn't have done it without your dad and your parents. Can you share, we might have some, I'm sure we have some golfers watching or parents na, what did they have to do to be able to take you to where you're at?
Definitely, everything wasn't pretty. It wasn't the easiest process. It's not, unicorns and rainbows. My parents had to sacrifice so much, especially since I decided that I wanted to play golf at such a young age. I had 2 other siblings, so it's not like they could put all their focus on me. Definitely, so much time and effort and money was put into this whole, journey that I had. I'm very blessed. I'm super lucky to have such a great support system. My mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister are, the greatest people in the world. I'm not the only person who sacrificed so much for my sport, but also them. So I'm just very grateful for that. But yeah, when I was going through Q school, I was lucky to have my dad. It was definitely a lot of traveling. So I can't even just imagine doing this by myself. It's really hard, you're not always gonna have your good days out on the road.
Bianca, you mentioned the term unicorn, and I understand that is your moniker. How did that come about, and what exactly do they mean when they call you the unicorn?
Honestly, don't know where that came from. I just had like, I remember when I started off in college, I had like a pillow that was also like kind of a stuffed toy, and it was a unicorn. And my teammates, because every time we were on the road, I'd bring in, and then my teammates would like make fun of me. They're like, "Oh, you have a unicorn." And then I transferred schools, and I was just like, "What?" They were like, "What's your spirit animal?" And I was just like, "I don't know. I guess a unicorn." They're like, "That's not an animal." And I was like, I don't care. I like unicorns. So I think my coaches just kind of associated me with that because they didn't really know. They probably didn't really know expect, with my game and everything else. So I guess they thought it was magical in some sort that they called me the unicorn, but they really never carried on with that anymore. But they do associate unicorns with me, I think.
But Bianca, you were talking about your college experience, first at Gonzaga. You hit a hole-in-one when you were at Gonzaga, and you hit another hole-in-one when you were at Arizona.
Yeah.
That's pretty rare. You went to two schools, you put in those holes in one in both schools. Some golfers go through their entire lives without ever experiencing the hole in one. So tell us, how did it feel when you sacked that hole in one, first at Gonzaga and then at Arizona? Did you ever expect it? And when it dawned on you that you made it, how did it feel? What did you tell yourself?
I believe that you have to be very lucky. I don't know. I find it crazy because the two hole-in-ones that I had in college were both very special to me. The first one I made in Gonzaga, I made a hole-in-one and I shot a school record. I tied like an NCAA record, a conference record, because I shot 61. And it's funny because I couldn't really see the ball. I remember the hole was kind of elevated. It was up the hill, so you couldn't really see the green. And it was like 158 or something. Had a 9-iron, and then I hit my shot. I already knew that I was playing good that day. My game felt so good, and it was on the 17th hole. So I hit my shot, and then I was like, okay, it's going in line with the flag. That should be a good shot. So I put my club in the golf bag. I stand and I wait for the other competitors to hit. And then people in the green, standing and watching, started screaming like, hole in one. And I look at my coach and I was just like, I made it? And he was like, apparently. So I was like, I didn't even see my hole in one, but okay, great. And then the second one was my junior year. This is 2018. And I made that hole in one. That was at the NCAA championships. We ended up winning the whole thing. But that hole in one was also a little bit interesting. I think it was like around the same distance, probably like 157, something like that. And the green was kind of funky because it was like flat, and then there was like a ridge in the middle of the green, and then it flattens up at the top, so it kind of looked like a step. Or does that make sense? But the pin was in the front left, so my play was just to hit like the ridge so it would roll back. So this is my coach. He was standing and watching. I hit my shot. It landed like right on top of the ridge. And I let go. I was like, wala na. It's going to hit the ridge. It's going to bounce towards the back. I'm going to have such a hard shot. But it landed perfectly, like right on top. So I was like, whatever. I even put everything in my bag. I was kind of pissed about the shot. And then it started trickling down. And then my coach was like, oh, so you turned out to be like a better shot. And then it kept going and going. And I was watching it. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll have a good birdie putt. And then the ball disappeared. Again, the people on the green started jumping and screaming, hole in one. And I look and I was just like, I made it. And then he gave me a high five. But yeah, definitely those two rounds were super memorable because the first hole in one I made in Gonzaga, I won the tournament and shot a school record, and I tied the NCAA record. And then when I transferred to Arizona, I made a hole in one and we won the NCAA championship. So definitely, home ones to remember.
Super. Bianca, you're known to have one of the longest balls ever, right? Longest hit ever.
Yeah.
What which aspect of your game now are you trying to improve? Is it your short game, your putting, and who are your coaches who are helping you right now?
I feel like these past few tournaments, I've really been striking the ball well. Couldn't really get putts to drop, and it's kind of frustrating, but then I guess it's all part of the game. But yeah, definitely working on my putting. I would say I would love to work on my scrambling for pars. Like if I miss the green, I would, do my best to save the par wherever I'm at. But my swing coach, Coach Carito, I'm gonna see him before flying to Tokyo, and then I've also been having some putting lessons. But yeah, that's pretty much my game right now. Just a lot of short game, working on my wedges, trying to get my numbers dialed in, and hopefully see some more putts drop.
What about the competitions that you've participated in? There must be one standout, one outstanding competition that you will always cherish in your heart. What would that competition be?
SEA Games was so fun. Like we played match play. It was a different format. So definitely probably, that would be up there. Asian Games was probably one of, the greatest highlights. It was like a come from behind win for Team Philippines. And I remember that day I just started playing well, especially like in the back nine. For some reason, like something switched and I was like draining all these putts. And I was like, in my head, it's like, I'm playing well. Like, I hope like this does well for the team. I was like, I hope I can contribute. But I remember like when I was making those putts, it was just like the adrenaline that I had throughout the back nine. It was just crazy. It's like I walk up to a putt and I knew that I was gonna make it. And like I was hitting all these good shots and I was just like, nothing can go wrong right now.
Bianca, a lot of women would love to be in your spot right now to achieve what you've achieved. And I know you're not nowhere near done. Of course, that doesn't just happen. It comes with a lot of, hard work. If you could just share, what do you think are some of the things that you did right?
Any type of sacrifice is going to be part of this whole journey. So I think that's something that I did right. Even if it was like a little bit stubborn growing up, I still like tried to listen to my parents. I was like, they probably know what's best for me. I'm just an angsty teenager trying to find my way out of the house. But and then I guess another thing was just that, it's probably something that it's like easier said than done, but like I guess it's just like I believed in myself. It's like I trusted my own game so much that I had so much confidence in my own game. So I think that's like one thing that really helped me get to where I am. Like I said earlier, I tried not to think of like what anyone else had to say about my game, because like I felt like I don't really owe it to anyone else but myself. Like you worked so hard and you're just gonna let like other people tell you what to do. Like you're gonna let all these thoughts beat you down, but that shouldn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're in charge. Like you get to control whatever it is you're doing. So if no one else is gonna believe in you, you have to believe in yourself, because that's like my mindset. Like no one else can help you but yourself. So I think that's like probably also like one of the hardest things I've had to learn throughout like my whole golf journey. I'm so sure I'm gonna learn so much more. I'm just starting, my life on tour. So I'm just looking forward to what else I can do to, become better.
Bianca, we're so proud of you. We're so excited for you and looking forward to first with the Tokyo Olympics. Can you tell us what dates are you going to be competing? Is it August 4 to 7? Are those the dates of the Olympics? And your final words to your Filipino fans?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Olympics are going to be around the first week of August, first or second week of August. We're right after the men's. So yeah, I hope people get to watch us. It's going to be super exciting. But yeah, I guess a message to all the Filipinos. Like, maraming salamat lang talaga sa suporta. And hindi lang para sa akin, pero sa lahat ng athletes na maglalaro sa Olympics. Iyon lang kami, pero sana pagpatuloy nyo kaming suportahan and ipagdasal na sana maka, podium finish kami. But yeah, yun lang. Maraming salamat lang sa suporta. Hindi, like, you don't even know how much this means to us athletes. It's one of the things that keeps us going. So, yeah, thank you.
Go Bianca!
Thank you.
So
Thanks very
excited.
much, Bianca, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.